Okay, there is a video currently making the rounds on social media, which was alleged to be some sort of vote buying in the just concluded by-elections across the country. There was by-election in Anambra State, Adamawa, and Kano, and this particular video seems to be coming from Kano, where it seems a young man, was distributing cash uh, before the event of the just concluded by-elections, which was held on Saturday last week. What is actually very worrisome about this video was not just the fact that the culture of vote buying is still very much prevalent in our uh, political space, but the fact that in the in this particular video, this young man, was flanked by security personnel. You know, so if this is actually true, that it was actually vote buying, then we really have to be very concerned, because those who should actually enforce the law, we are actually compromised, sort of, even because they became complicit in the very act they should fight against. So it's very disturbing, to say the least. It means that over the years we are not making progress as far as electoral reform is concerned. I see a lot of advocacy about electoral reform, but the most important electoral reform we would have to be the one that focuses on the electorates making more informed decisions. Whatever electoral reform, INEC should be unbiased. Whatever agitations you are making as far as electoral reforms are concerned, if we do not target the average electorate to be able to make much more informed decision, not just making this informed decision, but also to understand that it takes sacrifice to build a nation, then I think we are failed with our advocacy as far as electoral reform is concerned. I always say that the best way we can actually address issues in Nigeria is enlightening the average Nigeria, and it begins from the polls, like what we just saw recently. Apart from the one that was captured, on camera, that was circulated, that is currently trending on social media, there were so many instances like that probably we are not privileged to actually see what really happened. But this culture is still very much prevalent in our political space. So any advocacy about electoral reform, in fact, the most potent electoral reform we are going to have as a people would be when Nigerians, when you cannot actually buy the conscience of average Nigerian. That is the most potent advocacy we can have, where you give a Nigerian money to say, vote for party A, and they say, no, I think party B has a more credible candidate. We are voting for party B. And to the extent that they can even say, keep your money. I am not going to sell my conscience for peanuts. You understand that I'm going to sacrifice the 10,000 naira you are giving me at this time, the 20,000 naira you are giving me at this time, for the benefit of a better nation, by actually voting for the candidate I am very much convinced has the most convincing plans to address our needs. So we can have a very a very much more reformed electoral system where the beavers are working, where the IREV, the election results are uploaded through the IREV and all of that, where INEC, at the end of the day, will not collaborate with, party stalwarts and chieftains to kind of manufacture results. With all of this put in place, there is the tendency that we could still end up with a flawed election process, in the sense that people are still, being manipulated to even vote for candidates they are not convinced have the most convincing plans to address issues. So that critical aspect of our electoral reform, which has to do with reorientation, must be commonplace. It must be something that we must see to it, to see how an average Nigerian should be able to make much more informed decisions at the polls. Otherwise, we actually not making any progress. Electoral reforms actually would form, key one of the key policies that I would be, advancing as far as my presidential aspiration is concerned, and I hope that I can count on your support in the days to come. I am Francis Onyema, 2027 presidential aspirant, and I thank you for stopping by.